Don't print it in your basement, sell it on the black market because you know it's untraceable and think that's community safety. Don't do it because you think that's what the framers of this Constitution wanted.
A so-called ghost gun bill has passed the House and is heading for the Senate in Pennsylvania. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, the link in the description box below. And if you like channel-like content, what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything's appreciated. And to my Connecticut residents, plan on getting your Connecticut pistol permit, please get the training done, and I will go further and say get your paperwork turned in before July 1st, 2024. After that, it gets a little bit longer, a little bit harder, and probably will cost you a little bit more money. If you have your permit, watch the expiration date. Don't let it expire. There's a link for the online renewal portal for the state of Connecticut for permits in the description box. Keep an eye on that. Let's talk about this. And Pennsylvania, and I'm saying this is in response to the shooting last year, July 2023, where a person used what they called ghost guns and committed a mass shooting. So now they're pushing through a ghost gun bill through the Pennsylvania legislature, and it has passed the House.
We're talking about firearms that don't have serial numbers. They're assembled using components that are put together privately, perhaps at home, and they're not easily traceable to the person who originally bought them. The bill ended up passing on nearly party lines, but there was plenty of debate. Supporters of banning the sale and purchase of guns and parts without serial numbers say not taking action will enable violent criminals who can't simply buy a gun from a dealer because they won't pass a background check.
Don't print it in your basement, sell it on the black market because you know it's untraceable and think that's community safety. Don't do it because you think that's what the framers of this Constitution wanted.
All but one House Democrat voted for the proposed law, which would hit violators with a felony offense.
This all goes back to law enforcement's ability to investigate and make sure we catch perpetrators who are committing crimes with guns, period, point blank.
But Republicans argued the bill may infringe upon firearm and property rights.
What they say is in the bill is actually not what happens, and the wording is very important. Additionally, it's already illegal to sell a firearm that would be made in the way that they are trying to go after. So what we really have is a case of the existing laws need to be enforced. Now, this legislation builds off efforts by the Biden administration to try to bring these so-called ghost guns under some of the scrutiny that we see with firearms at the federal level that are usually legally purchased by a dealer, for instance. But at the end of the day, this bill is now going to head over to the state Senate, which is controlled by Republicans who may not be all that keen to take up the measure. A spokeswoman for the Senate Republican caucus said that the leader pointed out there are plenty of firearm restrictions and laws on the books already.
Now, bills like this do not curb crime. They never do. This is once again feel-good legislation to make somebody feel like we're doing something so the NPCs can get on board. Telling somebody what they can or cannot do who will follow the law does not curb criminal activity. I don't know how many times I have to say that. But once again, Pennsylvania in all their, in all their glory has decided to push through this measure, which is going to do nothing because if a criminal wants to go get a ghost gun, they're going to do it anyway. Law be damned. We know this, but they always pass laws that only the law-abiding will follow and then are shocked when it doesn't work. But let's come into here. Pennsylvania House passed a so-called ghost gun measure. I'll blow this up. Legislation that would ban homemade and 3D printed firearms in Pennsylvania has been approved by the State House. The measure, HB 777, which targets unserialized firearm parts and accessories, was referred to as Ghost Gun Bill and was passed on a 104 to 97 vote. According to the text of the measure, a person who sells or otherwise transfers any of the following separately or as part of a firearm kit, not imprinted with a serial number registered with a federal firearms licensee, commits a felony of the third degree. a firearm frame or receiver, a firearm muffler or silencer frame or receiver, a split or modular firearm frame or receiver, or a partially completed, disassembled, or inoperable firearm frame or receiver, 80% receivers. The measure further states a person who, with the purpose to manufacture or otherwise assemble a firearm without being registered or licensed to do so under 18 U.S.C. 923 relating to licensing, purchases or otherwise obtained separately or as part of a firearm kit any of the following that is not imprinted with a serial number registered with a federal firearms licensee commits a felony of the second degree. And I'm not going to read that all over again. Now I'm going to come down to here. The justification for HB 777 is the alleged uptick in crime in Philadelphia, the group said in alerts to members. But the problem in Philly isn't unserialized gun parts, it's the failure of DA Larry Krasner to prosecute criminals. That's the problem in every liberal city in the country. People who won't prosecute criminals. Now we come down. After the measure was passed, the House GOA sent out another alert informing members about a few turncoat Republicans who had supported the bill. Quote, the vote was largely on party lines, with pro-gun Democrat Frank Burns voting no. The alert stated, however, 3 anti-gun Republicans violated your constitutional rights by voting to pass HB 777. And then they mentioned a person's name. I don't need to get into that. Now, the measure now goes to the state Senate, where the Republicans hold a 28 to 22 majority. Pro-gun senators must put a stop to the measure in the Senate, as Democrat Governor Josh Shapiro has already shown support for several anti-gun bills, measures in his short tenure as governor. Well, he's a Democrat. What do you want? But let's go ahead and come out of that. So once again, Democrats, leftists, progressives, whatever they would call themselves, have once again missed the mark when it comes to crime. They say there's an uptick in unserialized guns. Well, why do you think that? Because criminals don't follow the law. So you're passing a measure that will not address the actual problem of crime. I really would like to get these people in the room and just ask them, what are you thinking? Well, what's your thought process when you go through this? Somebody commits a crime, and your only answer is to pass a law that only the law-abiding will follow, who wouldn't do what the criminal does in the first place. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Telling people, oh, you can't make a gun because a criminal used the gun that was made, who knows where they got it from, to commit a crime. You just want to beat your head against the wall. You get so frustrated with stupidity like this. But Pennsylvanians, contact your senators. I mean, you've got a majority in the Senate. They don't have the veto power to overturn it if the Senate says no. So get on the phones, grassroots again, because this is ridiculous. How about they pass a bill that says criminals will be held accountable for what they do? I'm 100% on board with that. You commit a crime with a gun that you made unserialized as a criminal, I'm all for you throwing the book at them and locking them up. I have no problem with that. But when you pass a law that says you can't make your own gun because a criminal commits a crime, you're just so way off base. It's not even funny. It's just ridiculous. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.